Hello everyone and welcome to the Kukuli Bushcraft channel. Okay, I'm going to do a spotter carving today. I've got this log. I'm going to turn it into a stirring spoon, and probably I'll make a spatula with the other side. I've also got here, I believe, something to finish off. So that just needs a little bit more work. It's quite dry. I work with green wood in general. It's a lot easier to work with, and I'm going to try and get the rough shape of these two items before it seasons and becomes too hard. The one thing you've got to be careful with is not to let it dry out too much too quickly, otherwise it'll tend to crack. So while you're actually working on it, you can keep it in a plastic bag. Keep on turning the plastic bag inside out, or what I like to do is keep it outside somewhere cool. So yeah, just don't let it dry out too much, and make sure I've already tried to split this in half, and when I was in the forest I thought I'll use both sides anyway, so I brought it back and I'll use me throw. It'll be much better. But anyhow, what was I saying? Yeah, you've got to make sure you go through the centre, because what tends to happen as it dries, it opens up, so it cracks. You'll get cracks going along there. Whereas if you've got it split down the centre, rather than cracking, it's just going to warp a little bit. So yeah, just a couple of little tricks to stop it from splitting on you. Right, so I'm going to get cracking on this now. Okay, so that's the bulk of the shaping done with the axe. Okay, so the little hook there, that serves for, well, for one thing, you can hang it up. You can also rest it on the edge of your pot and it's not going to fall in. And also you can lift your coffee pot off the fire with it. So you see that on quite a lot of finished spoons. So the shape I tend to go for is, I tend to go really deep here and really wide here, which is quite good for, you know, for handling the spoon as if it's an eating spoon. It gives it like quite a bit of strength. I tend to over exaggerate it quite a lot because I kind of like the way they look like that. Like I say, this one's not quite finished yet, so I'll see if I can get this one done and the other done and the spatula done. Yeah, maybe I'm not going to get all of that done today, but we'll see. Let's try and make a spatula. This should be a fair bit quicker. we make that ugly knot into a feature? We'll see what we can do. Right, now what I'm going to do, I've had enough of it around here. I'm going to go into the forest, somewhere nice and quiet, to finish these things off a little bit. That's my plan. This is where this thing comes into its own. It's really great at rounding off the outside of the bowl. Okay, there's the centre of the log. I definitely don't want that to be here. So, oiling. I like to use walnut oil. Don't use boiled linseed oil unless you boil it yourself. Boiled linseed oil, it's not boiled nowadays. They add chemicals to produce the same effect. So it's now fairly toxic. Maybe not super toxic, but worth avoiding. I mean, I find if I use olive oil, ballastol, anything like that, it tends to eventually wash out. Whereas if you use a polymerizing oil like linseed oil or walnut oil, it'll stay in there longer. So yeah, a little bit more work on this maybe. About sanding, up to you whether you sand or not. It depends on the tool marks, the facets, you know, whether all of that actually bothers you. It's a bit windy, I hope you can hear me. But as if you do sand it down first, then oil it, then sand it down again afterwards with a really fine sandpaper, because what the oil does, it kind of puffs up the grain, if you know what I mean. It makes it rougher again. So sand it after oiling and maybe another coat of oil again afterwards. But I'll do a little bit more on that, and I've maybe got one more little thing to show you besides. This was Chagga tea, and it was left in my flask a little bit too long to be good, so what I'm doing is I'm boiling it down, and that'll make quite a nice wood stain. Okay, so quite a bit of a change in colour. So should look nice with a bit of oil on it as well. Okay, so as for this one, oh, bit of a hair on it there. It's not got as much of a crank in it as I'd like. And yeah, I'm seeing from the image there, it's a little bit uneven there as well. You see that? Yeah, so maybe I'll do a little bit more carving on that. But other than that, it's about good to go. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. And please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done already. And I'll see you all again soon for another Googly Bushcraft video. Bye for now.